away after the FBI agreed to finally let members of the committee review the document that alleges that Joe Biden accepted bribes as vice president.
And for more on this, let's welcome in Virginia Congressman on the House Budget Committee, Ben Cline. Sir, thanks for joining us. So this is good news. We don't have to go through this hearing, but how do you see this playing out?
Well, it's a shame that it's come to this, a stare down that ultimately resulted in the FBI backing down and allowing members to view the document, but only members of the Oversight Committee and only in camera, which means in private. So they don't get to have the document. It doesn't get to be made public by the committee, but they get to see it. This is a public document. This is not a confidential document, but it is an allegation from a source that is a credible source that the Biden family was engaged in pay-to-play and that the president was actually engaged in bribery and changed policy as a result of money sent to the president.
Yeah, and I thought your tweet was fascinating. You basically said that it's no surprise that the media is ignoring Joe Biden's $5 million pay-to-play scandal as vice president. Big media will always hide the facts. We know that the whistleblower is legit. We now know beyond the shadow of a doubt that the document in question is legit. If this allegation does turn out to be true, what happens then?
Well, the Judiciary Committee, on which I serve with, Jim Jordan, stands ready to pursue the facts and wherever they may lead. But the Oversight Committee is doing a great job of bringing all that information to light, laying it out for the American people. It is no surprise that there is a double standard from the mainstream media. They imagine what you would have had this been a Republican president accused of taking bribes. There would not have been an ounce of media coverage on anything other than this story.
Yeah, you're so right. A president could be a Republican senator, congressman. It doesn't matter when the media handles these stories. How do you think the DOJ, if this is all true and then this moves forward, how do you think the DOJ will handle this, though?
Well, we unfortunately understand that there are partisans operating in the DOJ, that Attorney General Merrick Garland has no interest in pursuing charges against Democrats and has focused his attention on biased charges against other Republicans, including investigations into President Trump. So we don't anticipate this DOJ, absent enormous political pressure, taking action. Hopefully there will be that pressure if the facts come to light and necessitate those charges.
Congressman, quick response if I can hold you to it, but do you think that Joe Biden's age has something to do with this? Like Joe Biden, the assertion is that he's out to lunch, he's 80 years old, we're not going to go after this poor old guy at this point with stuff like this. Does that play a role?
Well, I think the press shop in the White House loves to spin that nice old man story, but we also know that Joe Biden has been a senator longer than I've been alive.
Right.
And I'm no spring chicken. So what you have is a senator, a vice president, a president who's been trading on his name, who's been whose family has been trading on his name for many, many years, getting rich.
Yeah.
And now the facts are coming out.
Yeah. Okay, quick one on what happened on the House floor earlier this week. This sort of mini revolt that we've been talking about following the passage of the debt ceiling last week. 71 no votes on the Republican side, and then 11 members walked off the floor a couple of days ago. What happens next? Do you think the gavel is safe in Kevin McCarthy's hands?
Well, there are meetings going on between the conservatives and the Freedom Caucus that initiated this rejection of the rule this week. And I'm a member of the Freedom Caucus, so I'm in contact with those individuals. They're talking to Kevin McCarthy about moving forward because the results of the debt ceiling bill were so disastrous that it really destroyed a lot of the relationship between the Freedom Caucus and Speaker McCarthy. We need to rebuild that if we're going to move forward with Kevin as Speaker, and it remains to be seen whether that will be able to be rebuilt. Those discussions will determine whether we can whether we can move forward.
So you're saying he's not safe as Speaker right now?
Well, I think those conversations are going to determine whether we move forward and how.
Interesting. Okay. Congressman Ben Cline, we appreciate you being with us this morning. Want to keep